Welcome again to our amazing series, How to Raise Your Teens with a Purpose. In today's episode, that is number 3, I will be talking about balancing discipline and freedom. Navigating the balance between discipline and freedom during the teenage years, can be one of the most challenging aspects, let me put it this way, of parenting teens. As teens now strive for independence, they at times will push against boundaries. And many parents who are listening to me, you know what I'm talking about. And therefore, making it essential to establish a framework that provides both guidance and as well the freedom for them to explore. And so allowed me in this episode to share with you 7 strategies, if I can put it that way, to help you achieve this delicate balance. 7 points. I would like you to take notes and would like to implement this one step at a time. Number 1, you must establish clear expectations and rules.
Dive into a journey of growth, resilience, and transformation. My new book is now available. Head over to my website to check it out and start your next chapter today.
Start by setting clear, I will say it, age appropriate, because it depends also of the age of your teens. Expectation and rules that reflect your family values. Discuss, those rules openly with your teens. Explain to them the reason behind. It's very important. Don't just bring the law without explanation. You got to tell them, here are the values of the family, and here's the reason. Because that will bring transparency, and that transparency will help them actually understand the importance of those boundaries for, a rational for your decisions. What is behind? What is the reason behind? So they don't feel like it's a punishment, but rather a protection. For instance, rules about curfews. Screen time, house responsibilities should be clearly communicated. Curfew meaning 9 p.m., nobody's out. You have to be back at home, or 8 p.m., and so on. When the teens know what is expected of them, they are more likely to adhere to those guidelines. When they don't know, they just do whatever they want, and then we get angry because we didn't bring rules, and those rules are for guidelines, those rules are for safety, and those rules are the boundaries. So number 2, encourage open discussion. While it's important to establish rules, it's equally crucial to be open to discussions. If not, it's become dry law, and rebellion will always fester under such. Invite your teen to share their thoughts, their feelings, what they think about the rules that you have set. Discuss, talk about them. This will not only foster a sense of respect, but also it's allowed them to express their opinion and concerns. You understand? So when they feel heard, they are more likely to take ownership and stewardship of those rules and understand the importance of adhering to them and how important it is to you as well. Consider having, for example, regular family meetings to discuss any necessary adjustment to those rules, because sometimes, depending on the season, rule can be adjusted, because your teens also are growing and circumstances are continually changing. Number 3, involve your teens in setting guidelines. Involve your teens in setting guidelines. Don't just come and drop it upon them and impose it upon them. Because when you involve your teens in setting the guidelines, in the process of setting guidelines, enhance their sense of responsibility. And as I spoke before, they take ownership and stewardship of such guidelines. So I will encourage parents to collaborate with their teens to create the list of rules that both parties agrees on. This could include, again, as I said before, curfews. Talk to them about it. Listen to them. Limit on technology uses. meaning telephone, computers, and so on, television. Your expectation around the schoolwork, that's important. Because for having a say in the decision-making process, your teen is more likely, again, to feel invested in the rules and be motivated to follow them. I can't repeat that enough because it's important. Number 4, you must focus on constructive consequences. Constructive consequences, meaning whenever you set rules, rule will be broken. So when rules are broken, it's important to approach consequences in a constructive manner. I will explain that. Instead of resorting, for example, to punishment, harsh punishment, focus on consequences that encourage learning and personal growth. I'll give you an example. If your teen misses curfew, consider having a conversation about the importance of time management and trust. Do you understand? And then agree on a reasonable consequence, such as, for example, later curfew for a set period. This approach helps your teens to understand the impact of their action while reinforcing the idea that mistakes in the home are opportunities for learning. So you can set later curfews. It's a punishment, but it's not a harsh one. It's allowed them to grow through it. Number 5, please allow freedom within boundaries, especially for some of cultures and upbringing cultures and the rules under which we ourselves was grown up. Sometimes we do not respect such. Because when you allowed freedom into the boundaries, it creates in the teenagers a trust and a respect. As they will demonstrate actually a greater sense of responsibility and therefore gradually increasing their freedom, such as extending curfews or permitting unsupervised outing with friends. This not only fosters them a sense of independence, but it also shows that you believe in their ability to make good choices, that you are trusting them. That's why you're giving them more space, more room, more freedom in the decision-making, always in the confines of the boundaries. However, it is very essential that you ensure that these freedoms are balanced with understanding that boundaries still exist for their safety and their well-being, not to punish them. Number 6, communicate the importance of boundaries. You see, all those points I'm sharing with you, they are all based on the foundation of communication, exchanging. Communicate the importance of boundaries. Throughout the process, consistently communicate why the boundaries, how important the boundaries are, not to punish them, but to guard them for their safety. Explain to your teens that the rules are not meant to restrict them or to restrict their freedom, but to protect them and to help them grow into responsible adults. I will advise parents discuss real-life scenarios where boundaries are necessary, such as driving, relationships, and work environments. And that will eventually help your teen to understand that boundaries are just part of life, and those boundaries are essential for their safety and are essential for their success as well. Wow. We are moving forward with our last point here, that is point number 7. This one, we could have a whole episode on it. It is for you and I to be a role model. Being a role model, not just be a good teacher, but a role model. And so a role model for a teen, do it by demonstrating how you balance discipline and freedom in your own life. Kids are watching. I will advise you to share examples of how you set boundaries for yourself and how you navigate the consequences of your own choices. This not only will provide your teen with a tangible example to follow, but it also reinforces the idea that everyone must adhere to rules and boundaries regardless of age. So they don't feel like they're the only one paying for it, they are the only one being imprisoned. No, you apply those rules to yourself as well and let them see it and let you be an example. And so, in conclusion, by finding the right balance between discipline and freedom, you will empower your teen to make responsible choices while providing the guidance they need to navigate the complexities of adolescence. And so, this balance will foster mutual respect and trust ultimately between you and your teen. And that will help as well strengthening your relationship with your boy or with your girl as they grow into independent, responsible adult. I hope that really helps somebody. Go back to those points and begin by the grace of God implementing such. It's not late. As the English proverb said, it's better to start in the afternoon than never at all. God bless you. I'm looking forward to see you in our next episode. That will be episode number 4. I will talk about how to support your teens in their academic success. Bye for now.